And welcome back. I initially thought with the week of What If that the Goku What If He Had a Sister one I would have to go into Sunday to finish it up with. I knew it'd be finishing up this week, but I was able to cram it out, a little bit of a longer episode, but I crammed it out in the last episode that we did it in. So that was the final episode, which means once I did the Naruto one yesterday, I had no What If to do, which meant it was time for a new What If. So, looking down the list of people that I had, I was very happy that the next Dragon Ball one, because I already got a Naruto one lined up, so that one would be Wednesday. I choose, basically, if I got one going on of one topic, I choose a different topic for the other, be it Dragon Ball Z, Naruto, whatever other topic it may be. The majority tend to be Dragon Ball Z and Naruto ones, but there are other what-ifs that are suggested. Usually just like one-shot ones that I'd have to do, so that's why I don't normally... That's why I save them usually for like a week of What If or something like that. But this one comes to us from, and I'm going to see if I can get every name I just wrote down right here right. Karami Ali Mathleo, Wanderers, Moltz 2, Jocelyn Moranzi, and G Money Play to 12234. You guys asked, what if Goku was born with Ultra Instinct? Not just Ultra Instinct, but Mastered Ultra Instinct. Now, obviously, I'm going to get the people who say, this can't be, this doesn't make sense, da-da-da-da-da-da. It's a what if. It's a hypothetical. We can work things out to make this possible. Like how I've oftentimes been able to make Super Saiyan 4 work within the canon of the story, at least from my perspective. So, what if Goku were born with Ultra Instinct? Now, let's be clear. Being born... and even having Master Ultra Instinct doesn't mean that Goku would necessarily be aware that he has it. What I think would be the reason that he has it is, yes, it's kind of a mutation, whatever, kind of like with Broly. It's just a mutation that's lent itself to him having this. But this, first off, we have to address the idea of if Ultra Instinct immediately means you have God Ki. Because Ultra Instinct, yes, the individuals we've seen with Ultra Instinct, be it Beerus on some minor level, mostly Goku in this case, and Whis and the Angels, they all have Divine Ki. But that's not to say you necessarily needed to have it. It's a different state of being. Basically, it's a different state of form and function. Now, that being said, I do believe there is a level of divinity to that. Like, there's a reason mortals can't normally reach it. It's there's a reason it messed with Goku's body. His body wasn't prepared to handle something like that. Which does lean credence to the idea that it is something really only the divine can cope with or handle pretty regularly. But again, what if he was born with it? Well, again, it has to be some sort of mutation that gives his body a natural disposition for it, which is why he can do it without, screwing himself up. I think in the early years, though, and this, first off, yes, they see his potential, Bardock and Gine, they send him to Earth. Grandpa Gohan finds him. I think initially he wouldn't know he has it. He has it, but it's instinctual, hence Ultra Instinct. But after a little while, particularly like with some basic training from Grandpa Gohan would point out that his ability to dodge is remarkable, and then point out the form changes, specifically Omen. I think Mastered Ultra Instinct is something that's a bit harder and harsher and needs a state of awareness for Goku to really hit. But the Omen is something I think he can just naturally do. Because there's the Ultra Instinct Omen, which is kind of like the false Ultra Instinct, if you will. Like the precursor to the true Ultra Instinct. And then you get the true Mastered Ultra Instinct, where everything is perfectly synced up. I think Goku naturally is capable of going to the Omen, but not going to the Mastered Ultra Instinct. But saying that gives Goku awareness of this. So he's aware that he looks in like a mirror or a pond or like a body of water, sees the change in form and stuff like, whoa, I can transform. So the Grandpa Gohan helps him with this. And it's noted that, at least in the manga, Roshi could do something similar, at least in terms of his movements, that mirrored Ultra Instinct. So I think Gohan has enough training that he can do that as well. Now the question is, when actually activating his Ultra Instinct, now let's be clear. Does Whis always have his Ultra Instinct on? That's why his hair and the Angel's hair looks like that. It's a question that's, legitimate. Because he's mastering, he's kind of already always doing it. So, I think mastering is different than being born with it. I think Goku's naturally disposed to doing it. But he's mastered Ultra Instinct. He can't just constantly be a master Ultra Instinct. And I think it's because he is immortal. I think that is his limitation in this version. Where, yes, he has natural access to it. He can access it, and it also doesn't really affect his body in terms of like just screwing him over. But he just can't stay in it for very long. It's kind of like Kaioken in some regard. So, just making sure everything's okay. Been feeling a little tired, achy, and all that. I just want to be sure everything's okay, particularly in my left arm, which the symptoms of a possible heart condition are. And I think I'm fine. I think it's what problems when I've been sleeping off. But I digress. Hopefully everything's fine. And I like to believe everything is fine. And trust me, if I think something's wrong, you might not be seeing me for a few days till I get things taken care of. But I digress. Back onto the story, which you actually are here to listen to. So in terms of where the power level for Goku is at this point, that's difficult to say because we just don't know. Power levels became irrelevant in terms of what their actual power level, like the number is, right around the Android saga. Now you can scale definitely in terms of like how they compare to other individuals, but it's still difficult to kind of pinpoint where Ultra Instinct lies on the power scale. Like, it's clearly more powerful. Even his Omen was clearly more effective than Super Saiyan Blue Kaioken 20. It was clearly more effective against Jiren than that. So there seems to be some level of increase in power. But it's not a true transformation. Though you can make the argument Master Ultra Instinct that we're looking at right here is. By the by, again, I'm trying the what ifs out with something on screen to actually, keep you visually engaged. And, some people seem to like that, so I'll continue this for the time being. So, where does it put his power? Well, because he doesn't even actually have technical divine ki. It's just something this is just a form change his body's is predisposed to. It's difficult to see where his power would lie. Will it be an increase of power? Absolutely. Will it be a drastic increase of power? I think as he gets older, the power, like the actual increase of power, is apparent. Like in Goku's case, Ultra Instinct does add like a transformation. While he has it naturally, it's not something where he's constantly in it. But Ultra Instinct and Master Ultra Instinct are both like transformations somewhat. So he can be in his base form and be fine, but he can like go into Ultra Instinct at will and then go from there. In terms of like what a multiplier of that would be on a mortal without divine ki, that's a difficult question to say because you have to figure out what was the difference between Goku and Ultra Instinct, and the better he got with it, the more effective he became, the more he used it. And Super Saiyan Blue Goku, what was the difference there? And again, difficult question to say, but I think the difference wasn't huge, but it was enough. Be honest, like compared to what we saw him do in Blue versus what we saw in Ultra Instinct, be honest, I wouldn't put it much past like only a couple multipliers, really. Maybe we'll put a conservative number on it, say it's like a times 5 multiplier. But the real benefits of it are obviously what it actually allows you to do. So its multiplier actually isn't a drastic increase. We know there is a bit of an increase, but it's not anything amazing. But we'll say a times 5, I think, is a reasonable number. I think that is. And if you want to argue that with me, absolutely. Maybe I'll alter it if I can hear a compelling argument for that. And by the way, not someone who's just fanning over, like who's just being a fanboy or fangirl about it. I would like to hear a legitimate argument. Otherwise, I'm keeping it at times 5. With Mastered Ultra Instinct, we'll just go a pure 10. Again, the true benefits of them is just the autonomous movement. The pure reflexes and just reacting without thinking about it. So we get into that. So Goku's power, remember, is only a times 10. Now, because of having that, Gohan's training does increase on Goku a little bit. So I think you'd actually see Goku maybe have like a twice as much power than he did in the original series, like 20, maybe even let's go 25. Unfortunately, he still kills Grandpa Gohan. I don't think anything about that changes. So he's living his life. He meets Bulma. Unfortunately, when she pulls out the projectile, he immediately goes into Ultra Instinct Omen. So when she tries to shoot him, he immediately just dodges them and just catches like, why are you trying to hit me? And so, what are you trying to hit me with these little metal things? And then they go into their explanation of why they're there, and they go on their adventure. Now, Oolong, that whole scenario goes the same. The Yamcha fight, even though Goku was hungry, goes about the same until Goku decides to go Ultra. Honestly, it's because he's hungry. I don't think he even really considers Ultra Instinct because he knows he's not functioning at 100% right now. So amazingly, Ultra Instinct wouldn't really be rearing its head very often in the early stages of the story. Goku's a little stronger, definitely. So if he doesn't need to use it, I think he doesn't use it. I think Goku, despite being socially, God knows how dumb, is quite intelligent in the use of his abilities. We've seen that he's quite intelligent in the use of his abilities. So, really, you're not going to see much changing until we get to maybe the Pilaf arc, and even in going Ultra Instinct, Master Ultra Instinct, just tries to Kamehameha to go through the wall. Doesn't really go as well as planned. Unfortunately, he also makes the mistake of gazing at the moon in Ultra Instinct. Mastered Ultra Instinct to boot. Now, I think he does warp the wall because his power increases that much. Times 10 on the 25 given him, that's 250. That's a reasonable power boost. I mean, hell, King Piccolo was barely over 200 at his full power, and he possibly had enough power to destroy a planet. Honestly, it doesn't take that much power in Dragon Ball Z to destroy a planet. Hell, Roshi could blow up the moon. His power is only maybe in a couple thousands at best. So, you have Ultra Instinct Goku wreaking havoc. They eventually have to try to remove his tail, but because he's Ultra Instinct in this case, they can't get to him to remove his tail. So So he's wreaking a bigger rampage than normal in this version. They can't, but fortunately, the Ultra Instinct does die down because he can't maintain Mastered for very long. He doesn't even go to Omen. He's just, it's just kind of draining out of him. And I think the Ozaru form just kind of recedes because it's just the waning of his power overall. That power added on to Ultra Instinct is just something his body can't truly handle. Now, I don't think he went Ultra Instinct when he killed Gohan. I just think he went to Ozaru and killed him. You add the Ozaru 10 times multiplier onto the 10 times multiplier Master Ultra Instinct and the strain that would put on your body. He quickly phases out of that form, just passes out. And because of that, he's passed out. I don't think they have the idea of removing his tail. I think he's just unconscious. Oolong saves the gang with by wishing her panties, and then Goku goes off the train with Master Roshi. Now, Roshi immediately finds Goku a bit more of a challenging student because he has these these Ultra Instinct forms. Now, granted, the training he does with Roshi certainly helps increase his strength, and Roshi even sees that he actually has to put effort into Goku's sparring and all that. That even though in base, overall, he's still technically stronger, even with the training, Goku might be technically stronger base-wise. We put him at 150 in this version, let's say. Roshi is still overall the better martial artist and all that. And again, his movements do mirror Ultra Instinct. So when they have to fight in their tournament, the World Martial Arts Tournament, they are able to actually still keep up with each other and mirror each other, even with Mastered Ultra Instinct to some degree. Because Roshi is that experience and that of a fighter pretty much. So I do think it's a freaking horror. It's a powerhouse fight right there, and Goku is actually pushing the advantage in several points, especially when he's in Master Ultra Instinct. But ultimately, it is Roshi who still pulls up the win. First off, there's the Ozaru shit again, and they blows up the moon, and still the whole digging his legs in deep because they are both at that point tired out, and I think Goku would be running on reserves as well. Move over to so that again stays the same. Move over to the Red Ribbon Army arc. Goku actually has a lot easier time running through those guys. I think he still has to go to Corn, though. He drinks the Ultra Divine Water. The Holy Water. Was that? No, the Ultra Divine Water was the real stuff. What was the name of the old stuff? Or the fake stuff? It's just Divine Water? So, he beats Taub. Then you go over to the next World Martial Arts Tournament. And again, it's a close fight when we get to the final match. 'Cause that's really what would come down to, the final match with Tien and Goku. But I think Goku. I actually think Goku might actually take the win in this because he's got more power than Tien at this point. He's legitimately stronger. He's got transformations that add on to that power and just make it impossible for him to hit. Like, at this point, Goku might be hitting the 200 range. You had just the Ultra Instinct, which we know has at least a minor multiplier, probably about 5 times, conservatively saying. I could even probably dumb it down a bit more. Maybe it's only twice as much. But even at twice as much, that would put him at 400 versus Tien's 180 with the benefits of being able to dodge all the time. And then you got Master Ultra Instinct, which let's just say that's 5 instead. For this, that's 1,000. So, and in fact, now that I'm saying that out loud, I actually really do prefer the ×2 and the ×5 for the Mastered. Because again, when you really look at what Goku's power was compared to like Kaioken ×20, it really wasn't that drastic of an increase, but it was enough that it started to give him a bit of an edge depending on who he was fighting and how much control he had over the form. Because it's not a transformation, it's a form. Though, again, Master does kind of act like one. So I'm going to actually rewrite everything I just said there. It's going to be a ×2 and a ×5. But still, at ×2, that puts him at 400, which puts him well above Tien, who's only a 180 right now. And I think that actually gives him the legitimate win. Now, I've watched Masako X's What If Goku had actually won the first martial arts tournament video, and how that would have affected him. But there's nothing about what if he had won the second one, because he'd already tasted the humility of defeat. So that was able to kind of give him some perspective on that first match. Because he was able to win this one, my nose is itching like crazy. Oh, God. Oh, forgive me. So because he won, and it's still itching. Wow. That's irritating. There we go. A little too much Coke. Coca-Cola. What are you talking about? What do you think I'm talking about? Coca-Cola. That actually had cocaine in it. That's common knowledge. Yeah, everyone knew that Coca-Cola actually used to legitimately have cocaine. I digress. Moving on back to the plot. So Goku actually wins the tournament. Unfortunately, this makes him a huge target. Like, remember, King Piccolo was going after all the martial artists, and because Goku is the legitimate winner of the tournament this time around, he is a big target. Now, I think he had the hero dinner. Krillin goes to get his power pole. So what Goku was actually doing with his money was he was celebrating. He was having a big dinner. So he's not suffering from hunger like he was originally. And then Krillin is killed, so he goes after, kills, I believe it was Tambourine who did it. Kills Tambourine. And then basically there's the confrontation that Goku eventually has because Roshi failed and died doing it. So I think Goku does find King Piccolo and they square off. Now again, Goku is only around 200, so him and Piccolo are actually about equal. I think Piccolo is actually a little stronger canon-wise. So Goku's still struggling until he again goes into Ultra Instinct, and immediately, Piccolo can't touch him. I was like, why can't I touch this boy? It's like, you can't, it's like, I will not let you win. Then he starts beating the living crap out of him. Now, Omen is weaker on offense than it is defense, but that's not to say he still doesn't have offense. Plus, he still has his Kamehameha, as we saw. And he just, starts wailing on King Piccolo. King Piccolo is now just flabbergasted at how strong this kid is. He goes basically for a Hail Mary move and basically threatens maybe someone else who's there, like Yajirobe or someone like that, or maybe Bulma, possibly. I'll be honest, I can't remember if there was anyone else there with him or not. Excuse me. Oh, gas. I apologize. So, he tries to Goku does unfortunately have to get in the way because he can't just get in the way and dodge. He has to get in the way and consciously keep himself there. And he gets hit by King Piccolo's beams. And and Goku again goes back out and says, "It's over, boy. Now give me the Dragon Ball and you can die. I will grant you a swift death." And all of a sudden, just like I did your friends. And that triggers Goku again. Just, and then all of a sudden his hair glows the silver white. It's like, nah. And then you have basically power level 1000 Goku, basically just smashing right through Piccolo like he does in the original. And now he just stands like, "It's over, Piccolo. You will not hurt anyone else ever again, Kame." And Piccolo just, "Kame." And then Piccolo at the last moment spits out the egg. Goku just focuses on it and then just evaporates Piccolo at that point. So luckily, that leaves Kami alive. To which they still have the Dragon Balls, all that, so they're able to wish everyone back. Now, here's the thing about that. Piccolo is defeated, everything along those lines. The Dragon Balls are still safe. He didn't grant his wish for him or of regaining his youth. He didn't destroy the dragon. So, is there a reason for Goku to go and visit Kami? That's a legitimate question. Remember, he had to go up there to find Kami so he could A, train, but B, restore the Dragon Balls. Yeah, there's no real reason for him to do that, except maybe to get some more training. So, maybe they would talk about it for a while. And eventually Goku does, goes to meet with Korn again, and does eventually go and meet Kami. Maybe that's what it is. No, I can't. I got nothing more to train you with. You're gonna be on your own for this one. Oh, but if you really want to get more training, master that, whatever thing you do is, I'd recommend going up to the big man upstairs. The big man upstairs? Yeah, Kami. He's the guardian of Earth, and he's the creator of the Dragon Balls. Whoa! And then, so what you're going to have to do is put your power pole in there, extend it as far as it will go. Good luck! And then Yajirobe's like, what's up, hot stuff? Hey. Because if you watch a bridge, you know that's a thing. I'm going to say what I'm in love with. It's like, oh, what's her name? She's a cat. And it's like, I am not one to judge. So he eventually goes up, sees Mr. Popo, and he immediately sees Kami, and then reacts like, Piccolo! And it's like, yeah! Unfortunately, remember, Kami also could do the eye thing that Jiren did. So he just blasts, because Kami's power is a little hard to pin down, where Kami's power actually lies. He's stronger than he looks, but he's still an old Namekian, so it's difficult to figure out where he actually lies in terms of the power scale. He could just blast Goku back, though, without too much difficulty. So he was probably comparable to old King Piccolo. So probably somewhere in like the low 200s. And it does blast Goku back, and then Popo grabs him. And then Goku's like, Goku immediately goes to Ultra Instinct. It's like, Popo immediately has to... Popo actually now is struggling to hold him back. Just, it's like, no, you want to go to the stun, Goku. This is Kami. What? No, this is Kami. He's the guardian of the Earth. It's like, wait, you're Kami? Yes, I am Kami. Though I can see why you'd be upset. I can see why you make the confusing distinction between me and my other half. Then he goes on to explain the nature of him and Piccolo, and that if he had killed Piccolo, he would have actually destroyed the Dragon Balls. Something he explains early, and luckily Piccolo survived. And you spent some time up here doing training with us. So that's where we're really going to leave it right now. We're going to leave it on that because there's the remaining part of the Dragon Ball saga probably would cause this video to go on too long, and I usually like to keep them somewhere in the low 20s if I can. Occasionally I'll bump it up to a 30-minute video, very rarely past that, but occasionally, like the Q&As obviously make sense for that. But when it comes to the what ifs I usually keep between 20-25 minutes, sometimes a little longer. But yeah, that's where we're going to leave it out. So next time we're going to be going into the remaining of the Dragon Ball saga and the early Dragon Ball Z arcs. So thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Like, comment, share, subscribe. As always, you want us to review something, put in the comments below. Let us know. We'll do a review of it at some point. Ideas for who would win, Star Wars, Superior, Magic, What If, anything to do with the channel, put that in the comments below as well. I'll get to that at some point. So thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you next time.